Welcome to the Build to Win MiniPod. Today, I am delighted to be joined by Circle's own Group Commercial Director. Now, before I make a formal introduction, I would like to go through some of your career highlights. Joined in 2019. It took you only 4 weeks to do your first deal, but in typical you fashion, you did 2.
Double
With the same client. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Top biller 2022, 5 promotions in 5 years. You've trained multiple 10Kers. You became a shareholder in 2025, now group commercial director and a proper seat at the board, helping create the vision and deliver the vision, and ultimately working towards a major event / life goal. Tell me about how it all started.
I'm glad we stopped there. I wondered how long we were going to go on for with the career highlight.
Well, I had to cut a few out, otherwise we'd be here all day, but here we are.
Yeah, no, it's obviously it's crazy. It's been nearly 7 years. Feels like a lifetime, but also kind of feels not like a lifetime at the same time. I'm just so excited. I feel like I never expected after 7 years that we'd be working towards an end goal. I don't know what I
told you
what I expected. I don't know whether I thought I'd still be doing this job at 60, but I think it's wicked that we've got this end goal, and now I'm just so motivated to get us there.
So how did it all start?
Well, how it actually started.
Yeah, how it actually started.
So it's actually a really good story. I love telling people that join how it all started. I was in a job previously. It was just like an after school job. I didn't get into the uni I wanted. I was being snobby. I only wanted to go to a certain uni.
Which one was it?
Nottingham, University of Nottingham. And I didn't get in. And so I went to my employer at the time where I was doing a Saturday job, and it was property lettings. And I asked for a full-time job, and obviously they opened that door. And then roll on a couple of years, and I was doing a viewing at a property, and you turn up. And then it was a case where I was so confident. I thought I'd got it in the bag. I was like, I was absolutely taking that house. I've smashed this viewing. This is a done deal. And then you text me, and it was a nice text, but you were basically like, no thanks on the house, but do you want a job? And I was like, no idea.
What is this job?
What is the job? But I felt very undervalued, and I felt like what I did wasn't rewarded, in terms of, there was a ceiling, right? And that was always frustrating to me because I was ambitious. So then when I met with you and you told me, oh yeah, don't worry about that, I told you how much I wanted to earn, you laughed and said, that's ridiculous, you'll earn loads more than that here. I was like, fair, this guy's crazy, but I want to give this a shot. Like, I love the idea of this. Like, he's ambitious, and this just sounds like a fresh start and something exciting. And then I think even in my head, I was like, yeah, I could probably do this for like a couple of years and earn good money. And then within like a month of starting, I was like, wow, I'll never leave.
I love this.
He's going to have to literally like chuck me out the door. So yeah, that's where it all began.
So you never chose a career in recruitment?
No.
Career in recruitment chose you?
It recruited me.
Yeah.
It literally.
What has been your, this will be tough, but we've gone through a few of the accolades, but what is your career highlight?
Yeah, I honestly think I could name so many. I think becoming a shareholder. I think that's crazy. I don't think many people in their lifetime get the chance to become a shareholder, let alone in their 20s, with a goal that being a shareholder is actually going to seriously pay off and set me up for life.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably got to be it, is like actually having a part of what I've built. I don't think people get that in.
Because you're almost day one. You're almost a day one. As was Steve. Steve only joined. Steve joined
like a year and a half after me. So he'll be 6 years this year.
Yeah.
As well. But even then, we were still just like growing, weren't we? We were just so
flying by the seat of our pants.
Oh god, yeah.
To outperforming what we really were.
Yeah.
We packed a punch for our size, but we were still tiny.
Yeah.
Like, we had to rebuild from COVID.
Yeah, I know.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
What's been your toughest challenge in recruitment?
I think I would have said before change. I think we all knew that. It was just change. It was like, I think in recruitment, if you're not evolving as a business and you're not changing as a business, then you're going to get left behind.
100%, yeah.
And I've never been good with change. So I think very early on, you said you're going to need to get used to change and you're going to need to embrace it because that's what we're about. And I think that learning that actually it's okay for us to constantly be changing, to put new things in place, to move offices, to move desks, silly things like that. But actually every single minor thing we do is to keep us competitive and to bring out the best in us. So I think that just evolving to change and the pace in which you have to do it in a company like ours, I think was what was the hardest. But now I feel like it's just a part of who I am.
Yeah, it's not quite, the changes aren't quite as abrupt now.
No, true.
We've had to like make a ton of mistakes to find our way, and we've got our way.
Yeah.
And now I feel it's a lot more 1% gains.
Yeah, agreed.
Do you know what I mean?
The change is more manageable.
More palatable.
And I feel obviously now, like the longer I've been here, the more trust we build. So the more I'm involved in the change, as opposed to it just being, this is what we're doing, which it never really was. You always got our buy-in, but I think it's more like we're doing this. Like, trust me, we're doing this. But now it's like we agree on the change together that we think is best for the company. So I think that probably.
Yeah, fair. I'd like to talk about your newest role as Group Commercial Director. So obviously you went from being a top biller into managing, into the classic route, top biller, billing manager, divisional director of running the division. And then we made this crazy change 18 months ago.
Yeah.
And the whole game changed for this entire company. The whole game changed. And we have gone up a level massively from that change.
Yeah, very
and I want to talk about that. I want to talk about, well, let's talk about how the conversation happened and how you felt about it, and then to kind of where it is and what you've built from that idea.
Yeah, okay, great. So I think obviously we'd already sort of, I think, trialed little bits of it previous to me doing the role. But I think you were pretty clear with me a long time ago that you wanted me to do this sort of role. And we just sort of see how it unfolded. It was a big change. So, it needed to take some time to digest. But I remember I never really take like long breaks out of here because I just get panicky. I want to be back. There's so much going on and I'm on the edge of my seat. So I remember it was like the first 2 weeks I'd ever had off since joining. And it was like the end of the second week and I was eager to find out what the hell has been going on in the office. I was like, what is going on? So we had a catch up. You gave me like a download of updates from the 2 weeks and was like, yeah, and I think I've got a role that I want you to do. Well, we'll talk about it next week. Oh, what are we doing? Well, I've been gone 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks. So then when I came in on Monday, you sort of said, you're like, look, I think we've got to play to strengths. I think I can see the strengths of, you and Steve. And I think we're not maximizing your guys' potential. So then obviously presented the idea of doing this sort of sales director role for Steve, where he was going to drive the performance of the sales floor day in, day out, hold the guys accountable and do what he does so well. And then my side would be more client facing and trying to build on all of the existing relationships that we had, build better solutions for them, but also try and grow new relationships and bring all of these amazing things we were doing for our clients into these new relationships and try and actually expand accounts rather than being like an inch deep and mile wide. We wanted to go deeper. So I think I thought, yeah, I definitely have expertise in that, but flipping heck, Luke, that's a big target.
Did I hand you the target?
Yeah,
on
pretty much day one. It was like, so here we go. This is what you're doing. I was like, all right, okay.
That's
so
funny.
now
I've
got to find a way to make this happen. I don't think I doubted myself. I think I just needed to get my head around how I was going to do it.
Yeah.
Because it was literally probably like triple or quadruple what we were doing on a desk basis. So it was like, flip back, okay, this is big.
Yeah, a couple of £1 million target.
Yeah, but it worked. And so I think the first few months, because that was the end of September. So in October, November, December, it felt a bit like a trial run, just trying to work out and where the money was going to come from, which clients, I did genuinely feel like we could do more for, because it's all about selling what people need. So I think I worked that out. And then by January was ready to just like fly last year. And I think the first year was a huge success.
Massive.
Yeah.
And now where is it at?
So now obviously managed to nab 2 of our best team members, Chloe and Leanne. So obviously Chloe's been here, 4 years? Leanne joined not long after Steve, but Leanne's been on maternity leave. So I think it needs, what my team, I think needs is people that truly understand what Circle are about and truly understand how and why we add value to clients, in order to be able to, to do a bit more. When we're talking to clients, it's not about, yeah, no problem, Mr. Client, I can fill this one role for you. It's like, well, no, actually, like, what are your challenges? Like, let me tell you about how we've done this for another business. Let's actually talk through this and understand what we've probably actually got a plan. I can help you with this.
Yeah.
And so I think it takes people with like a little bit of experience and knowledge to be able to really deliver that well and add value, and for the rest of the sales floor as well to want to tag us in and loop us into some of these things, because you can leave a lot on the table, right?
So,
That we've spoken about it. So it needs to get the buy-in from the sales floor to say, oh, flipping heck, okay, this could be a big opportunity. And they need to bring somebody in that they trust can help them convert that. And obviously we need to be able to do that ourselves as well and identify these opportunities ourselves and be credible to clients, to big industry names. I mean, it's crazy. Like, why would somebody from Mars speak to us? Why would somebody from Procter and Gamble speak to us? Why would someone from Johnson and Johnson speak to us? But they do.
Yeah. Because we've got a solution.
Yeah, we've got a solution. We're credible. Like, we supported other companies similar, and so I think we've really got to establish ourselves as a credible partner that actually knows what they're doing and bring something different to the market, because there's so many recruiters out there and consultancies out there, and I think we have this really amazing hybrid where I don't think we sit in recruiters anymore.
No. We've got that.
Yeah, of course.
And we'll never lose that. That is like.
But my team is just obviously moving into something a bit more strategic.
Yeah, massively. And if you were giving advice to somebody that was going into this type of role, or a business that was looking to have this type of like setup, because I think so many businesses either did one of two things, right? They stayed 360, or they went BD and delivery 180. Whereas what we've done is we've hybrid that, and we've said, no, we've got 360. So the 360s do what 360s do. They go in, they bash the door down, they do a deal.
Yeah.
But what 360s would then do is, right, okay, where's the next logo?
Yeah.
Whereas we're like, whoa, slow down a little minute. How do we expand that account? How do we go and sell a statement of work into that account, or whatever it might be? What advice would you give?
I think to an individual that's going to be doing a role like this, I think you can get a bit bogged down in identifying, here are my 10 clients, here are my 10 target companies. I think there's a place for it, and I think it's got to form a part of it. But I think if you are only led by that and you're trying to work off of all these stats, we are in a world, especially where we recruit, where things change every flipping year. And whoever your biggest client was one year, they might go pop the next year.
Yeah.
They were building a factory one year, they're decommissioning a factory the next year. So I think it's very easy to get bogged down in thinking, well, these guys were my biggest 10. They must be the ones that I need to invest time in. I think you've got to let the market drive you a little bit. And I think you've got to absolutely be project led and use the 360. The 360 consultants are incredible. We train them so well to do what they do, but they're not trained to go and find more and to expand. So lean on them. Get them to tell you where some of these big projects are, and then you go in, you go work it out, you go find the right stakeholders, and you go close the deal, go close the bigger deal. So I think that focusing on these 10 target clients has its place, and I think it should always form a part of your proactive strategy. But I don't think that ever ends up being where it really comes from.
You could be far too rigid.
Yeah.
Far too, because they've got the finger on the pulse. They know what's going on.
Oh yeah.
They know exactly where the projects are, and you're exactly right. If they've built a new factory this year, you bet your bottom dollar that they're not doing it again next year.
Yeah, exactly.
9 times out of 4. In contrary to that, if a business is rolling out SAP 4 HANA one year, they're not doing it the next year.
Yeah, no.
It's done. Like, there's maintenance and there's ongoing, but then they're not doing it.
No, exactly that. I think that, and that's the same from a business perspective. If you're looking to put commercial into the business, I think firstly, don't lose what the 360s do. I think like 360s they're a valuable asset. Like, our 100%. Consultants are so valuable to us. And if you just let them end up becoming resources, you lose so much of the talent that they've got.
Hunters.
Personally, I love the 360 approach. I think it's the right approach. I'm sure there's businesses where a 180 works, but to me, it's 360 through and through.
And to me, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. what's the best deal you've got over the line?
Can I take two?
Go for it.
Okay, great. So one of for very different reasons. The first one is the first one.
Yeah, of course.
Because we touched on it earlier. Yeah, we touched on it earlier, but it was they need one process tech for a factory trialing project. They're very busy. They literally needed someone overnight, and it was literally the first deal. I was only here like 4 or 5 weeks, and found this shortlist. Like, you were like, yeah, great shortlist, banging shortlist. Like, right, brilliant, smash this, so excited. Put all of them in the interview, all 3 of the candidates. And I remember the client, I'm thinking from the debriefs, like, these are good, these candidates, like, I think they've really smashed this. They seem to be what the client wants. Client calls up, offers 2. I was like, yes, that's amazing. Like, obviously, I just thought recruitment was easy from then on.
Yeah.
It did get tougher. But I think that was obviously so cool, because it was just like, at the time, I probably didn't even really understand what that meant in overall context, but that's cool. Being able to get 2 deals out of one when you work so hard as a 360 consultant, I think is like a great thing.
We talk about this a lot, right? So sometimes you have to fight tooth and nail to get a deal over the line.
Yeah.
And every now and again, just one falls from the sky.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's amazing.
Still now, like, I'm like, oh my God, like, that just fell from the sky.
I'm excited about every single one. I freaking
100%.
love it. And then I think the other one was maybe obviously there's loads, but we placed with Bacardi for the first time. And I think that was really cool, because we placed with a lot of incredible brands. I love doing deals with all of those brands, but it just felt like we'd been hunting this one down for like a little while. And we weren't sure at first if it was going to come off. And we thought, flipping heck, Bacardi. I was like, love their drinks. I was like, I definitely need to try and get in with those guys. That's really cool. And it all stems back to that same thought and feeling that, like, people don't know that we do this in Peterborough. And everyone's like, what, you work?
Yeah, we've got contractors in Bermuda.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's this incredible feeling. It's like, okay, if we could crack Bacardi, that would be so cool. Everyone knows who Bacardi are. And then I remember when we got the first ever offer, and Michael and I were literally bouncing off the ceiling. Like, I won't lie to you, I don't think we could focus the rest of the day. It was so exciting. It was so fun.
Well, it was the start of something massive.
It was the start of something huge. And it just felt like it just really felt like an amazing moment. Like, we'd really achieved something. But like I say, there's probably a million. If we sat here all day, I could tell you about all of my favorites. Actually, I have a third.
Go on.
If I can. So this was a bit of a different one. This wasn't just an individual deal or breaking into an account. It was one of the biggest own label food manufacturers in, well, the UK, but they are global. They we've been working with them for years. I placed them all the way back in like 2019 when I started, but it'd been up and down in line with COVID and things like that. And we just hadn't really mastered anything. And then we went and met with them and just sat down and had a really, really good conversation. So we went into a meeting. We met with one of their like senior stakeholders. You joked that I took over the whole meeting, but
you did.
I knew what I wanted. And I felt so passionately about this. So I remember driving there with you, and I'm just like, I know that I have a solution for this. I know I can help them. I was like, I really just hope they see it from our perspective, because we can save them money and we can get them good people. And I just remember feeling so passionate about it. And it must have come across, because they were really impressed when we were talking to them. It was the head of talent, really engaged with us. I loved that. And then consequently, we went away, built a little bit of a proposal, tried to put it down into what that would look like. And they looped in sort of the procurement and the finance functions just to make sure it was viable. And I still genuinely believe that solution is ever growing, right? So we've got through.
Well, we've got exclusivity
absolutely
across the whole business to supply their contractors,
which is awesome. And they weren't, it's about making best use of contracts as well, and helping educate on, I think businesses forget some of the things you lose by using fixed term contracts. There's a place for them, of course, but it's the least attractive role on the market.
Yeah, the least. Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
there's no, you're getting paid the same as a permanent employee, but there's no like long-term commitment. There's no, career growth really, or anything that comes with the benefits of a permanent job.
You're not going to attract good perm people.
Yeah, no.
Unless they're out of work, and that's rare that good people are out of work.
Yeah, agreed.
You're never going to attract good
contractors. Yeah,
contractors because they're never going to consider
it's
it.
a model they don't work.
So it's almost the impossible fill. So therefore, and it's a more expensive option than actually doing it down.
It is, and actually, if
contract.
it's the right level of role and there's a good contractor out there, a contractor can do it. They'll add more value. They've probably, been around and seen similar businesses. They've got 30 years of experience, and they're going to cover what you. So it's just a bit of an education piece sometimes. But I really enjoy that. I feel like when that comes off, that's incredible. And
Well, they're massive.
Yeah.
They're
and
huge
that's a
when they
primary
come off.
example of when one did
Yeah,
come off. So a bit different to just a deal, but it was an agreement that I think is like made a big difference.
Nice. So talking about 2026.
Yeah.
What's your plan?
The plan is, well, I've now got a team, so I'm not like a lone wolf anymore. So the plan is to get them to be successful, I think, because obviously you're only as good as your weakest team member, right? So I think as long as the team if they're all performing and they're all delivering, then I'm going to be very happy. I think we've got a lot of, the pipeline gets me so excited all the time because I just think we've got so much in the pipeline, but it's also like there's so many steps to close it. So I feel like we're so close on so many big deals. So I think the plan is to have incredible control over the pipeline because I think that's so important. And I think just making sure that I'm doing everything I can with every client to make sure that what we're offering is what they want so that we can get the deal done, get the team up and running, which they already are, but get them hitting all of their targets and their own goals as well. I think it's really important. And obviously the overarching goal is to hit and smash target.
Yeah.
And get us on that journey to the 5-year plan. Yeah.
How excited are you for the 5-year plan?
I'm so excited.
Do you think we'll do it less?
Yeah, if my team really puts their finger out and if Steve drives that sales floor. But yeah, I think there's no reason we can't do it in less. I think if we if some of the projects come off that we've got in the pipeline at the moment,
shaves a year off.
Absolutely. And then some.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think we can do it in less.
Steve's confident. I'm confident. It'll be hard because every time we grow, you know what it's like. It's a whole new infrastructure and a whole new level of change. But
it's not meant to be easy.
Nah, all good.
Try and get rich from an easy life.
That is very true. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on today. I really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate.